Greetings, fellow deplorables, incels, neck-bearded basement dwellers. Welcome to episode 3.
I'm sitting right here.
Welcome to episode 3 of the Meridional Council. I'm Razvark and I'm joined today by Lady Kodama and The Heretic.
Well, hello everyone.
As usual.
Everyone had a good week?
Yes, we survived.
Lekker.
I guess.
Yeah.
This week we intend on talking a little bit about, Shang Chi. Eventually we're going to get to it. We still haven't watched it, so I want to talk a little bit about Shang Chi.
About
Luke
the
Skywalker
news.
is gay apparently. He's
Oh.
joined Robin. Will Smith
That's some
Apparently
fun about Will Smith.
Will Smith is hard done by all of a sudden. This is a podcast where we just kind of talk about things and stuff that's happening. We get horribly digress, so while we intend on covering these topics, we may completely go off topic. So if you want to join the chaotic fun,
Leave a comment and a like.
leave a comment and a like.
Maybe subscribe if you want. That might help.
If we entertain you.
Yeah, I think we're down to 3 subscribers. I think we might have actually lost a subscriber
No!
since last week.
Did you unsubscribe?
I think my mom was like, you guys are swearing too much.
No, this is bad, guys.
Yeah, we're blowing up. We're blowing up.
Yeah, we're going big, eh?
We're big on big shit.
Well, at least we're big somewhere.
So what have you guys been up to this week?
I can say in all honesty, fuck all.
Really, it's been a quiet one.
This was a very quiet one. So there's on my side, there was not much to talk about. To be
Yeah, I
honest.
haven't watched any movies.
Mm-mm.
I've been busy with my day job a little bit, and I've had to do a lot of government stuff, like renewing car licenses.
No,
and
that's
so I've
always
spent
fun.
a lot of time this week in queues just to give the government money.
Yeah.
And I'd kind of appreciate it if they just did a debit order, because they don't really give a crap if my car's
No.
roadworthy or if I can see. They just want a reason for me to give them like 500 Rand once a
Yes.
year or 200 Rand every 5 years. So just do the debit order and save me the time sitting in the fucking queue. But anyway, that's kind of been what my week is. I'm still looking at Shang Chi. Now, I've got a rule in my house is we do not pay Disney for their wares.
Oh yeah.
So we find
that's
ways.
fair.
I mean, there's way. I'm not condoning. I'm not telling anyone where to go or how to do it. But there are ways to consume stuff. I mean, if you really want to go watch The Little Mermaid, you can go to a buddy's house, pop in a DVD, and watch it. It's not going to cost you anything. I'm not going to go out and buy a Little Mermaid lunchbox because there's money that would go through to Disney. So
Yeah.
my rule of thumb is Disney has treated me terribly as a Star Wars fan. I mean,
Oh yeah, they messed
I grew up
bad.
I grew up a Star Wars fan, so you don't grow out of that when you hit something like that as a kid. Similarly, I'll never give Kevin Smith money because of what he did to He-Man. He-Man.
Oh, dude, that's a very sore spot.
So you watch Star Wars and they make the prequels, and the prequels they weren't great when they came out. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't great, but they've aged kind of well. Like the story that George Lucas was trying to cover, I get the point, and it actually works. It's really well. I just wish he'd gotten some help in doing it.
Yeah.
The Revenge of the Sith was a good movie. I
Yes.
don't give a fuck what anyone says. It's a good movie. It's the best out of the 3. But it makes these movies look like Citizen Kane in comparison to these fucking sequel trilogies. This sequel trilogy is just disgusting. It pisses me off.
Yeah,
So
no, it is.
you literally had the chance to bring Luke, Leia, and Han Solo and Chewbacca and get them all back together, and we do not have one scene with any of them. We didn't get
No.
one scene. Now with Carrie Fisher, God rest her soul, gone over the rainbow,
Oh, yeah.
it's never going to happen. They turned Luke Skywalker into a prick.
Yeah, no, he's an ass now.
Well, since Mark Hamill has come out, you look, if you follow Mark Hamill on Twitter, I try not to, but I do like stalk him a little bit. And he's a prick in real life too. I mean, he's just a left-wing nut job. I mean, really. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well, because he's now come out and said it's fairly obvious that Luke Skywalker is now homosexual, which I find astonishing. I haven't got a problem
But
with
it's
homosexuals.
so obvious. No.
I don't have a problem with homosexuals.
it
I mean,
is.
The Heretic is homosexual. We know this, but.
Thanks for calling me out. Fucker. Now everybody knows my secret.
Oh, shit, yeah,
Oh, no.
Fuck, his mom just unsubscribed.
I don't like where this is going.
So we don't have a problem, but you can't now come after 9 movies all right, well, like, okay, you're only a baby in the one of the what, but fuck it. 9 movies later, it's just like J.K. Rowling all of a sudden. After all the movies, the books are done, it's a huge hit, and go, oh, of course Dumbledore was gay. Did you know that? Dumbledore was gay.
Yeah, he's gay.
It's impossible.
Yeah, it showed everywhere he's gay, right?
You don't get the points after the fact. Okay, if you wanted to get the points, then Luke Skywalker should have been gay from day one, and then that's fine.
Yes.
Then it's fine. But you can't come after the fact and get the points.
Yeah, try to score some more points into the thing now and be more relevant and be like, oh, did you know that they're
because
actually...
it's the only reason that Hollywood is doing this is because it's popular, because it's
the in thing now.
It's the in thing. You know, they follow these flippant trends.
Yes.
They all, I mean, they're just a bunch of robots. They get told these are the talking points of the time, and that's all the talking points that they cover. I mean, this Me Too movement, they were all mad, crazy feminists right up until the point that Joe Biden was accused of sexual harassment, or who was the New York governor that just got kicked out? Andrew Cuomo.
Oh, yeah.
Then all of a sudden, that just went out the window.
Yeah.
And I mean, not so long ago, like the whole board of directors of the Me Too movement just resigned because they all got poured out. Still, I mean, Harvey Weinstein, I mean, he's a pig. The man was a disgusting pig. But there is reams and reams of Hollywood actresses standing up year after year and thanking the guy. So,
It's,
I mean, really, guys, come on, man. Now all of a sudden you're like, oh, he was such a pig. Last year you thought he was the best thing in the world.
Exactly.
Maybe he was like, give me a blowjob and I'll put you in the movie. Okay, well, he's an arsehole, but you gave him the blowjob and then you thanked him for it afterwards.
And you got a role in the movie.
But I mean, you know, here's the thing: is Hollywood should have known. I'm not going to work with that guy because he's a pig. The cameraman should say, I'm not going to fucking film a Harvey Weinstein movie because I know they all knew what he was doing.
But they still chose.
But because at the time, that's how it worked, and they did it. They had, I mean, the guy's a pig. He's where he bloody well belongs, as far as I'm concerned. But they all knew what was going on.
Yeah, they all knew. It wasn't a big secret among them. It was, and everyone chose to do it.
Have there been any good movies? Venom's come out.
Yeah, I heard some people said it's actually quite good.
It was a bit scary at a moment there because we were talking. There was whispers upon the wind that there was going to be some coming out, and that it was somehow going to be that Eddie Brock and Venom were in some kind of homosexual relationship as well, which just again
Really?
after the fact, this fight that just doesn't work. That's just weird. I mean, having a homosexual relationship with your parasite is just fucking weird, dude.
That doesn't make sense.
It didn't. Apparently,
this isn't an anime porn, guys. Come on.
That's a whole separate.
Yeah, 100%. That would definitely work with like Oroji Kodoji in the anime sphere.
If you go to that version, but this is Venom. This is not.
But it's come out, and you know, a couple of the YouTubers that I follow, they went to go watch it live. They came out and they're like, it's not woke. And that's my requirement now. If you can bring me a movie that's not woke, I will spend money provided you're not Disney or an affiliate of Disney, which is now becoming a little bit trickier.
Yeah.
Everyone's owned by Disney.
Because
Disney's
everyone's
buying
owned by Disney.
everyone.
So this is Sony, and I know Sony are in bed, and apparently there's now ties to the MCU in the post-credit scene. They're like, well, trying to meld this in with like Spider-Man and all sorts of stuff. But now, you know, Marvel could potentially lose the rights to Spider-Man and all of those characters now because there's copyright, and Steve Ditko is one of the creators now. Apparently, I haven't read all of the legalities. There's lots of videos on YouTube about that sort of stuff. But it's potential that Marvel could lose the license for Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
I'm quite keen on that because out of everybody, I would say the Marvel Spider-Man is the worst. I'm a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I don't know who your favorite is. Tobey Maguire is like you can't beat him, man.
No, that is true. He's my Spider-Man, the one I know, the one that's like,
So Marvel fucked up Spider-Man in my opinion. I don't think Tom Holland is horrible.
No, he's not bad, but he's not my Spider-Man.
I've only seen the one with Toby, so.
What?
I've only seen the one with Toby.
Obviously. He has watched Lord of the Rings, that completed the trilogy since the last episode, so we're working on it.
We're getting there. Yeah, slowly.
We're getting there.
But isn't Tobey Maguire going to appear in
I
a
don't
new
know.
one?
You know, it
Because
sounds
that's
like a multiverse thing, and it's going to have Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. It might work. I don't know. They got to have that meme where they're all pointing at each other.
That is what I also said.
They gotta
Everyone
do
is
it.
like, they have to do it. They have to have that meme in.
Yeah, we got Doc Ock and some of the guys
Yes.
from the previous movies, and then now with the Sony verse, I don't know if we can call it that, but the Sony verse with Venom and that, because that's nothing to do with the MCU, but it looks like that's going to be tied in. It'll be interesting to see. They got the Morbius movie coming out as well, which is one of the lesser known characters.
Yeah.
If that's obviously because that's in the same world, that's in the Sony verse, because Sony actually have the right to the Spider-Man characters, which is why we almost lost it a while ago. But that's all now melding because they're starting with multiverses, and I think it's going to get quite complicated. You know, Marvel's still in trouble, in my opinion. They've used up all the good characters, all their best, well, the best known characters, killed them all off, and now we're kind of having to look for new characters. Like Morbius isn't really well known with people who don't read comics. Shang Chi, I mean,
But
I
not
read
just-
comics, I read comics, and I still wasn't.
But also
really
the new
versed.
ones that they're creating is also not the most.
Yeah, well, they're doing what they did
ones.
with Star Wars. With Star Wars, the Force is female, and that was it. And they just pushed that to the point
Yeah,
that it was just
is.
vomit-inducing. It was just
It's like, really, guys.
unbearable. And I liked Rey. You know, the character
Yeah,
Rey in the
she's
Force
cool,
Awakens. I
but-
was like, hey, this is cool. It felt like Star Wars. You know why the prequels didn't really feel like Star Wars is because it was a different time. So everything looked clean and chic because it was supposed to be before everything turned to shit.
Yeah, all the
But
cock happened.
You know, at the same time, it didn't really feel like Star Wars because Star Wars was everything had that used sort of look to it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it was cool to, with the Force Awakens, to be in a world that had that look. You know, that lived in, you know, used sort of look.
But the one issue
I-
that was also sorry that I'm folding you in. You can go on now. The other one that I also have seen that also a lot of people have mentioned, and I must agree, you didn't have a bond with Rey because no one actually told her story much.
Yeah.
It's like, how did she get there? How did she become? There's
All the
nothing,
questions were asked in
yeah.
the first episode, but we
Nothing
never got.
was
We
answered.
didn't get there. They didn't explore it. I was like, oh, I can't wait to actually learn more about this person.
Exactly.
We never
and
did.
They never did. They just went on their own tangent. And I was like, but how am I going to connect with this person? How am I going to be like, no, don't hurt her. She is the hero because blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and then, you know, obviously because they didn't have a plan up front, they didn't write the story, which for fuck's sake, you're doing Star Wars. Do you not think that we would have a
Star
writer's room, get the
Wars.
trilogy planned
Yeah.
out and the arcs, not just wing it? Because literally, Jar Jar Abrams, it's a couple of, I'm not going to take response. That's Gary Buechler from nerderotic.com calls him Jar Jar Abrams, and it just rubs off.
Nice.
Jar Jar Abrams made a movie, which, and it's true, it's got the same beats as A New Hope, so it's basically just made A New Hope again.
Ah, okay.
Because it was, New Hope was
Yeah.
like, here's a hero has to discover that there's a hero, there's a threat with a big ass planet thing that can blow shit up, and you go fly there and kill it. This is exactly the same fucking story, really.
Yeah.
But they killed bloody Han Solo, the cunts.
God, assholes.
But anyway, so
But
they
yeah.
built the story, but without anything, and then just passed it on to the next director and
Yeah.
say, there you go, now you carry on the story from there.
Yeah, it's not
Rian
your
Johnson
baby, though.
obviously wanted to say, tell her, let the past die, because, everything now is, the whole world is about burning the world down and restarting from
Yes.
scratch, So obviously that was the theme that we were being told in this movie.
Yep.
And it all fell to shit. Went back to Jar Jar Abrams and he was like, I know what we'll do. We'll fucking make it about Palpatine's back. And I remember Doomcock. I watch another YouTuber called Doomcock, and he had the leaks early. Now, some of the stuff he says, whenever he comes with these leaks, he must have connections with the studios
no,
or
for
friends
sure.
at work. Someone who works in the canteen at Star Wars at Lucasfilm that overheard a conversation and then leaks it to him, and then he tells everyone
Yes.
about it. But he does say up front, like, take this with a pinch of salt. It's just, I don't know if it's true or not. This is what we've heard. And he was spot on with this. And I was like, they can't be going down this road.
Yeah.
It cannot be Palpatine. Fuck me, George. It was Palpatine.
And there
even
came-
in the beginning when
Yep.
they had the crawl in the opening,
Oh, yeah.
Palpatine is back. And I was like, oh my god.
No.
Oh no.
So,
Yes.
so really...
And I don't spend money on any of it, eh?
Mm-mm.
So,
No.
Fox now is owned by Disney. Disney bought Fox. So
That's why-
they own Alien, Predator, they own Simpsons.
Yeah, that's why Fox Africa is pulling out as well.
Yeah,
Oh, really? Oh.
Because of the agreements with Disney.
pulling out like Johnny Sins.
Yeah.
So the next
What?
Alien movie is going to
Oh,
be about
no.
systemic racism and fucking transgender, the agenda, and
All races loving one another, and we have to
Wow.
make peace.
no, they don't do that anymore. It's all about division now. We'd gotten to a point. We said this last week, but we've gotten to a point in society where we were all getting along and we were starting to work
There
together.
was a beautiful point,
and
yes.
now they've come
and
right in and they've divided us right up. And
Now
it's
we're going backwards.
Yeah.
we've gone back. God, before even my lifetime, man. We grew up in South Africa, so we were like the Rainbow Nation when I was starting to grow up.
Yes.
So I was very aware of this,
all of these
everyone
things,
working
yes.
together and all of that sort of stuff. And now that's all fucking down the toilet.
Yeah.
And it's literally just the reverse. I
Yeah.
mean, I saw this clip about these kids who were kicked out. White kids were in university in Arizona somewhere in the States, and they were kicked out of the study hall because this is a cultural facility, and the guy had a sticker saying support the police or fund the police or some shit like that.
What?
And they were like, well, is white not a culture? And they're like, no, white's not a culture. Get out of here. You're making us uncomfortable. And so we're back to
That doesn't make
European-only
sense.
benches. I mean, I lived in a
Wow.
world where black and white people, there was a bottle store. We'd go and there were different entrances. So, you weren't allowed to go to the one side and they weren't allowed to come to the other side. So I saw that stuff. I was young.
Yeah.
I remember being aware of it, going, that's fucking weird. That
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, obviously people older than me would know very clearly what that was
Yes.
like. But it feels like we're kind of going back to that.
Yes.
We're back to European-only benches.
Because when
we're back
I-
to
well, I grew
black-only
up,
buses.
yeah.
I mean, America in
No,
the
dude,
South,
it
they
is.
had that stuff with Jim Crow. They had that shit.
Yeah.
Why are we going back to that?
No, it is crazy because for me, when I grew up,
Politicians.
I wasn't part of that. I didn't see those things. For me, we
Yeah,
were
you guys
all
are born
together.
frees.
Yeah.
You're born frees. So you,
Allegedly.
But no, we were also like mixed races in school, all those things. We didn't see stuff like that, and now slowly it is going back. Now it's like there's literally signs of like whites can't go in here. This is only for like black people and all those stuff. And it's like, why?
are we doing this?
Why are we going
Because
back?
it is. I mean,
We-
but yeah, I was watching a new podcast. I discovered this new podcast, and they showed this TikTok. I'm also on that Libs of TikTok. If you're on Twitter, I obviously use it under my pseudonym, so I can say what I want to say. But
Yeah.
I follow this Libs of TikTok where they get like the worst
oh, the bad of the
weirdos,
bad. Yeah.
the most freakiest freaking gender benders you could imagine, and pull them out. And it was a black woman. She was talking about being in an interracial relationship, and she was with this white guy. And he was such a sweet guy. He was so nice. He was wonderful. Absolutely. And she said he was just such a great guy. But she just felt unsafe around him because, he's white.
No.
So when she went to go break up with him,
Just because.
because she felt unsafe, she had to tell all her friends where she was, what time it was, and said, if I don't phone you in half an hour, come and look for me. She was so terrified because white male rage is a real thing, is what she said. So here's the thing: is here she admits that she loved this guy. He was a really nice guy. He was really
And
really
he
sweet
hasn't
to
done
her,
anything
but
to her.
because of crap that she'd fucking heard in a
social
movie,
media.
on social media, or fucking Joe Biden coming up and giving a speech, she had just made this assumption, or what they'd learnt in a lecture at school by some
Yeah.
freaking septum ring fucking idiot. And she just made this assumption about the guy, broke off with the guy, and that was it. And she said, I'll never date another white guy again. And you're going, if this was the other way around, guys, even fucking 10 years ago, if this was the other way around,
It'd be a
it's
war.
fucked up,
Oh,
guys.
it is.
What you're doing.
No, guys, it is no. It is the same with these 3 black females. I can't remember where in America it was. It was also like where the college area is. So there's a bunch of like college dorms and all those things.
Yeah, they
So
have
it's
weird
young-
university setups.
Dude, but it looks like so much fun.
I wouldn't fucking learn anything out of drink.
But that's the problem. But anyway, so it is on a bus. It was apparently it was like at night, so young students going back home from parties and all kind of things. And then all of a sudden there was a 911 call of these 3 females said a bunch of white guys attacked them on the bus, blitzed them, harassed them, all of those things. Instantly that whole school was for these 3 women. Like everyone was
Of course,
like
I mean, I would be
all
the same.
against
We'd all
whites.
be the same.
Yeah, all against these guys. These guys are suspended. all of these things.
Based
it
on
was
that story, I
just
would be
from
like,
that
it's
story
deserved.
alone,
But
yeah.
I'd say it's deserved, but then they look into
And then suddenly they looked, because then obviously it was a case against them, all those things, and then they pulled the video footage from inside the bus, and it was them that attacked the white guys. And it's like, why? Why do you want to make a division? Why do you want to
But
break?
they're being people in America are being engineered, and it's going to start here as well, which becomes very dangerous for us.
Yes.
Because, but it's they're being engineered this way. It's being done on purpose. So on one hand, you can't really blame anyone for thinking this way because they're being saturated in it. I mean, you're in California. They're starting this shit in kindergarten, so you're going right through your schooling system with this crap being
Pushed
ingrained
into
in you.
your
I mean,
head,
I read some statistics about the quality of education in California. In California, and they say, according to the statistics, is the reading, the ability for people's reading ability according to their grade. I think it's only 40%, 44% of people in Californian schools can read at the acceptable level as per their grade. Okay?
What?
And 37%, I might be off by a couple of percentages, but we're in the 40s, and now when it comes to maths, we're in the 30s. It's like 37% of people are doing mathematics at the ability they should be according to their grade. And this is in California. This is like where Google's based, where Facebook is based. And in South Africa, we're doing better than that. I mean, on average, I guess. Okay, let's not get into that. but do you not think, is it potentially that they are on purpose releasing idiots into the system because the idiots will then vote for this shit?
Yeah.
So even now with the COOF, with the current situation we're having with the Fauci ouchie and all that, it's all this fear, and through fear they can control you. This is the scary thing. There's novels out there that covers this. There's movies, there's video games that covers this type of situation, but nobody seems to see it.
Yeah, nobody gets it.
Do you think it's potentially because instead of going to school and learning how to open a bank account, do your taxes, run a business.
Yes, I just want to say run a business.
You're just learning about genders, how evil white people are, systemic racism, and all of this sort of stuff, which is, we're going to lead into your story, I guess, with this critical race theory, which is just shocking. It's really, really scary to be teaching this stuff. And when you watch the left, when we talk about the mainstream media, it's not even biased, it's propaganda at this stage. Guys like CNN and all that, and they're saying, well, it's not critical race theory, we're teaching history. And you're going, but critical race theory, essentially you're saying that my children are somehow implicit, my kids, just by the virtue of being born on the pink side of pigment, are naturally inherently evil and racist and want to murder everybody that's slightly browner than them, and that's just bullshit.
No, that is.
Or that because they had a roof over their head and they had a mother and father that loved them, that means that they have some kind of privilege and therefore are evil in some sense. This is the stuff you're teaching. That's not history. That's not history that you're teaching. That's not a nice thing to teach.
Present day history.
We were past that. We shouldn't be teaching that to anybody against anything. We've known this for decades. What the fuck are we doing? Why are we falling for this shit? That's the scariest part. Is just over half of America clearly are falling for this shit.
Yeah.
If Joe Biden wins a fucking re-election, there is no hope for the world, guys. There is no hope. I am so stressed. Here we make up 8% of the population.
Yes.
If critical race theory makes it here,
it is.
it could potentially lead to genocide.
Yes.
You see it drummed up in South Africa. It's a really horrible thing, but it's drummed up in South Africa with foreigners, for example. We've got a lot of people that come over the border from Zimbabwe. The things that happen in Zimbabwe, that country's terrifying. It's just terrible.
Yes,
so they've fled the country looking for better opportunities, and they come and they set up work here. And then you get these politicians that go into the areas where people are a little bit less educated, and they drum up this. Listen, guys, why are you living in poverty? It's not your fault. It's these guys that are coming in and stealing your jobs.
Yeah.
And it gets very, very, very violent.
Yes.
Just go look at the news. I don't really want to talk too much about local politics, but it gets really violent. If you start drumming that up now, trying to make out that me and my children are evil, it could be a lot of bloodshed.
But even look at when it started in America with all these things, because it did go there. And look at the peaceful protests that they caused. I mean, they were setting buildings aflame. They were burning cars. It turned violent.
My biggest thing is the amount of people that died.
Exactly.
You know, there were stories of, and it were all,
Lives
and it was all,
didn't
and
matter.
but they kept saying Black Lives Matter, but it was Black lives being lost.
Yeah.
You know, it was people going nuts in these areas. I was reading stories of children, you know, sitting inside
Little
their house,
kids.
getting their braids done, and a stray bullet going through the
Yeah.
window and taking a child out. You know, a kid in a pram getting shot in
No.
and that's unacceptable,
No.
guys. I'm sorry, fuck off. That's unacceptable.
That's not good, no. Because, but the thing is
and
for
then
me,
January 6th, they come in January 6th,
Yeah.
and a couple of freaking pissed off people pulled and pooed on Nancy Pelosi's desk, and they're making out like that was
the
nobody
trigger,
died.
no.
That was the terror.
Yeah, that was
But it
bad.
is. But these
No,
people
it
have been
is.
drummed up because the politicians, the news love it because the news come in and make out that there's this big crisis.
Yes.
Because they get to fucking harp on and on about the crisis, get the clicks, get the views, make the money, and then the politicians come in and say, well, if I can turn this political and make it out like it's the other guy's fault that all of this is happening, you're going to vote for me and I get to keep my lekker house
Because
and my job and my power. And that's what's happening. But fucking people are sheep.
Yeah.
They're falling for it.
Because remember,
We
they
don't need to
don't
be
want
fighting
people
like
to
this.
stand together. They don't want everyone to stand together because that's how they lose their power. When people actually start working
But even-
together, and
even
now
look
they're
on-
like, we're going to use this to break up because you guys are clicking too much suddenly.
Yeah.
And now they're pulling all of these strings.
Well, read The Art of War. It's like they say, divide and conquer. It's the
Yes.
oldest trick in the book.
Yeah.
And they're using it now, and it's worked throughout history. We don't learn. You know, they always say,
Yeah.
learn history because it'll stop you from repeating it. We just repeat the
just go
same
on,
shit
yeah.
over and over and over
Yep.
again. And
I
it is
mean-
because we don't read the history books. We know the big stories, but we don't know everything.
I mean, look now with the vaccine that came out. I mean, if you look at old cartoons in the, the old hand-drawn cartoons that was in newspapers and our today's memes, it's the exact same with anti-vaxxers. How many anti-vaxxers back then were like, no, this is the government just trying to poison you, blah, 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 blah. And those guys who didn't take the polio vaccine and everything, well, they
Apparently,
They're
I
not
was
there
reading the
anymore.
stats when the polio vaccine came out. After 6 years of the vaccine coming out, only like 50%, 57% of America had the vaccine. And polio was bad.
That was
they had
very
people. They've still
bad.
got people today. I think maybe 1 or 2 people on the iron lung. If you got bad polio,
Yeah.
they put you in it's called the iron lung.
Because
it's this
you
machine. You
can't-
lived your whole life.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
ate
you
your
like
whole
lie in a
life.
tube.
I saw
and
the
then-
video. They had a interview with, I think this is the last person that has the iron lung on that's still surviving.
Yeah.
They had an interview with him. Like, he's just laying there in his massive machine. And it's
For
like,
decades.
Yeah.
It's just not worth. I mean, yeah. So I'd be like, fucking
Just kill me.
juice
Just
me up,
jab,
baby. Juice
yeah.
me up. I got
But
nothing
it is
wrong
the
with
exact
vaccines.
same that's going on now. How people are fighting
Yeah, although
against
this
the
is
vaccine.
just like, come on, guys, it's 98% chance you're gonna live.
But
I
still,
watched the
it
one
is-
South Park where they did the SARS, where Randy got SARS.
Oh.
You see the clip? Give me some beer. Oh, it's cool on my tongue. And he's like, only 98% of our people will survive this. Oh.
I know.
Look,
Oh, South
I mean,
Park.
yeah. Look, I mean, 2% of the world population is hundreds of thousands. It's not nice. It's
It is.
horrible.
It's not. But it just shows you again how we keep on repeating,
But it be-
making the same mistakes.
Yeah,
over
but this has
and
become
over.
politicized.
Yeah.
Here's the example.
Yes,
because
that's true.
all of this sort of, if we talk US politics because it's far away and it's the most entertaining.
They can't
But-
come after us,
Yeah.
as far as we know.
But in the beginning, this was supposed to be Donald Trump's vaccine. If you remember, because Donald Trump, he came up with Operation Warp Speed, where this vaccine was going to be done.
fast-tracking.
It was
Yeah.
going to be fast tracked, and it was all going to be, distributed to everybody, and everyone's going to get the vaccine done.
Yeah.
And at that point, we had all the Democrats. We had Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, all of them coming out and saying, I will not be forced to have this vaccine. I will not have this vaccine under
Yeah.
Donald Trump. La 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 la. This is the exact same fucking vaccine.
Yeah.
To the point that because Donald Trump had such bad press that Pfizer came out and said, whoa, we have nothing to do with Donald Trump, good. Because, I guess from their point of view, they thought if they were associated with Trump, the world has been told that this is the most evil man in the
Yep.
world. We
He's
don't
the
want
Antichrist.
this. We don't want this. So no. As soon as Joe Biden becomes president, now all of a sudden it's the
yeah.
miracle cure. And he does a 360.
Yep.
And now we're getting into a position where there's mandates and people are being forced to do stuff. Now, personally, I'm like take the vaccine.
Yeah,
I'm
just
half
take
vaxxed.
it,
I'm going to
yeah.
get the other shot on Monday. Me personally, looking at all of the statistics and all of that, I've decided I'd rather just get it done
Yes.
and just get it done.
But I was listening to a podcast on the Black Plague the other day,
Yes.
and they were talking about even back then, people were refusing vaccinations because,
Yeah.
again, they thought it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
poison, or they thought it was
Yeah.
the politicians or the government.
But
trying
I
to do
believe
things to
because
them.
it gets politicized.
Yeah.
So whatever side you're on, whoever's the side telling you
Yeah.
to get the jab, well, the opposite side's going to say, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
So
for sure.
if Trump had won that election, I guarantee you it would be all the Democrats and CNN. Everyone on CNN would be coming on saying, don't get vaccinated.
Yeah,
This is
don't do it,
tyranny,
yes.
guys. This is tyranny. Do not get that
They're
stupid
putting
vaccine.
a-
All of this stuff would be coming out. Anthony Fauci would be like, I don't think you should wear masks.
Oh yeah.
I think everyone should go and watch football games. This is
Yeah.
America after all. But because it was the
Freedom.
other way around,
Yeah.
it was a different outcome. And I promise you, politics and the mainstream media, the news
Oh,
outlets,
yeah.
or the propaganda machines now, they have
Oh, they have
fucking
way too
engineered
much.
all the shit
Yeah.
that we're finding ourselves in now.
They have way
Now,
too much power.
You know, the weird
seriously.
thing about it is, I don't know if it's because we're all locked at home and we're living on the internet that this feels a lot worse than what it really is.
It is.
Like tomorrow, if you took away Facebook and Twitter, just take away Facebook and Twitter, would this situation maybe just dissipate? Because look at our day-to-day lives, the way we interact. If you actually go out, we all kind of get along.
Yeah.
I mean, I went out the other day. It was amazing. I went out to with human beings. It was incredible. And everyone was very nice to
Yeah.
each other. I met someone and they had like, we didn't really agree, but we didn't call each other names and wish death upon each other. We just kind of went, okay, agree to disagree, have a beer together, and it
Yeah.
we fine. Because that's how real people
Yep.
interact, you know? If I disagree with you on a certain subject, I'm your friend anyway, we'll have a beer, we'll maybe
Yeah.
change, we maybe won't talk about that.
Yeah, we won't bring that subject
Yeah,
up
and that's
then.
your
yeah.
opinion.
You know, we all hang out with
Exactly.
people
Allowed
at the
to
end
say.
of the year. You know, we some of us are Christians, other of us are not Christians. We just kind of, we don't try and shove each other's stuff
No,
down
we
each
don't
other's
want
throat.
to
We just
hurt
carry on
one
talking.
another. Yeah,
just
just
accept
And that's how human do, because we have humanity
Exactly.
and we behave in a society, and this is how we do it. When you online, all bets are off, man.
Because they can't see you.
That's
yeah,
the thing,
but it
because
is.
you
We're
don't
so
have a face
fucking
behind the
horrible
name.
to each
Yeah.
other. Joe Rogan got sick with COVID. There was another one, Christy Mayers, a comedian, female comedian. She's got COVID now. She's like, well, you know, I can't smell or taste, but other than that, I'm fine. But people on Twitter, because I suppose she's more of a centrist, but so that makes her alt-right fucking psychopath, according to the left, anyone that's in the middle. But in reality, she's
She's just,
a
yeah,
irregular
in the
liberal.
middle.
And they're all just wishing her to, they just want her to die. They wish she would die. I hope you get COVID and die. And it's like, how can you
How
say
can
that
you do
when
that?
you're claiming to be
No.
the side that's all about tolerance and all of that sort of stuff? I mean, I was reading a story from one of these podcasters where he went to a rally or something like that, and he got the fucking shit kicked out of him by like a couple of lesbians and you know,
Oh my
these
goodness,
gay
yeah.
pride, the gaffia, what, the gay mafia, I don't know, the rainbow mafia came and they kicked the shit out of him because it's militant now. It's getting scary.
No,
I
it
mean,
is,
like
it's-
Antifa and that is, it's
Oof.
scary shit, man. It's like in the old day we had Pagad, was it? Pagad, people against guns and drugs. It was a similar sort of
Oh,
movement.
yeah.
And I'm going far back. I'm showing my age.
Yeah,
And
that
even
is
then, I
that.
was in school. I just remember people talking about Pagad in the news, and I was like, I don't fucking know, something like that.
Because I remember my father told me, because he was part of the police and he was also like a general, all those things. So he remembers
Yes.
this stuff. He's like, it was bad, guys. It was not good.
But I have read about from people who are older saying, you know, we've seen this shit before. The
Yeah.
world always goes through these cycles and
Yes.
that sort of stuff. So maybe
we must
maybe
just
just because
relax
we're
a little.
living it, maybe just because we're living in the middle of it, it feels worse than what it is. I mean, our everyday life isn't impacted yet. We've still got
Yes.
internet. I think, yeah, I heard on Friday Night Tights, they were like, if the internet goes, society's gone. Like, if we get to a point where they turn off Twitter, the guns are coming out. Fucking, that's
But
World War III starts. I'm
You
telling
want me to
that.
pick up a book and read?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? But it's,
It's
like
sad,
that.
I mean, how many bookstores?
Oh,
I'm a reader. I
dude,
like to
I
read.
love
like to read.
books.
Fuck.
But I like holding a book. I don't want the
I want
tablet
to
and
smell a
stuff.
book.
I want
can't
the book.
switch
Yeah.
to Kindle. We
No.
don't have Amazon here. You know, Amazon sells books to the world.
Yes.
We don't have Amazon here, so we can't.
We do, but we have to pay a little bit extra.
Yeah, you're paying dollars and then there's
Yeah.
always a markup fee.
They're
for some
not so
reason.
bad though.
And then
But
does it
is-
get delivered by the post office?
No, you get different ones. They
Oh.
can go to the post office or they deliver to you.
I'm talking about Kindle.
Oh, that changes
no.
everything.
No, they do. I have some few things delivered. Like the one had to go through the post office. I can't remember why, but the other one actually came delivered. It was quite nice.
I actually picked up a paper book the other day. on the weekend.
Oh,
Read
really?
2 chapters,
What?
and then I went home and played video games.
Yeah, I read less than what I used to read
Yes, a
because
lot
we're so
less. It's so
distracted.
sad. Yeah.
But I'm also very fussy with the media that I consume.
Oh.
Like I don't just watch.
Oh.
You know, in the old days, you just put the TV on and you just sit there mindlessly watching what's
Yes.
on TV. But now you
now
live with
you
choice.
choose, yeah.
I took my kid to see his first movie. We went to go to the cinema, first time in a cinema, and I thought he would love it. I took him to see the Paw Patrol movie. He loves Paw Patrol. He fucking loves Paw Patrol. Took him to go see the movie, got him his popcorn and a slushie, and we get into the cinema and we got the whole fucking place to ourselves. Lovely, because everyone's
Yes.
terrified, so they're all gone. So 2 of us sat. I got one of those day chairs, so we got
Oh,
to sit next to
nice.
each other. He's a youngster, you know.
Yeah.
I thought he would love this. He's like, I want to change it. I want something else.
No.
And we ended up we ended up walking out after half an hour because he got upset that he couldn't change it because he grew up being
That we
able to
can
just
choose,
swipe. He could just
yeah.
swipe if you.
Chop
So
and
he
change.
couldn't understand the concept that there's this big screen here, but I'm not in control of what I watch.
Oh.
It's
And I
amazing, eh?
remember with-
Like it's amazing. Like
And I remember with us, for us to go to the cinema and be able to choose what movie you can watch was like, it was the
Amazing.
best.
yeah.
I mean, it's not just on TV that you have to try and find something. It's like, oh, I can choose what movie I can watch. And it was like a big outing. You got the
Yeah.
big popcorn. You're like, yes.
I
It was like a
remember.
big
I remember
thing,
when
yeah.
DSTV first came out in South Africa. Because when I was a kid, it was Mnet was pretty
Yes.
good. When we had SABC 1, 2,
Yes.
3, and if depending where you lived, you might pick a Bop TV, which was
Every-
like, woohoo, that was cool. If you
I didn't even got
really
Pop
hoid
TV.
the bunny
yeah.
ears, but you get Bop TV. So if you wanted to watch like the Smurfs, I like watching the Smurfs and Transformers. I
Yes.
fucking love Transformers, man. Transformers.
Wah, 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 wah.
And so that would come on, and it was on KTV. We had like the kids show, and it was like I can't remember. It was like
KTV.
between
Oh
2
my
and 4. That
goodness.
was kids shows.
Yes.
So you had 2 and 4. If you were stuck at the shops or you had homework, that's it. You missed it. You fucked.
Yeah.
You fucked.
Up to these.
I remember.
God, there was nothing more heartbreaking than getting home, running inside, and then seeing the end
It's
credits
gone.
of Transformers. You missed it. And you're like, no. I was pretty upset.
Mine was Dragon Ball Z when I got home. I was like, yes! Ran, I got through everything down. I'm first going to watch Dragon Ball Z, and then you have the biggest B in the world, but you're like,
Yeah,
common advertisements, common advertisement,
The adverts.
advertised. Yeah, comes on, you run. You're like, you only have like a minute
Yeah.
that you have to.
You're just like, Knape, I'll live with the last bit. I'll do
I'm
that.
not going to miss this, and that was
Yeah.
it.
No, you got like
But then we
5
got
hours.
DSTV, which
Yeah.
is, I guess, Americans call it cable TV.
Yeah, they have
but
cable, yeah.
you don't choose the
have
channels. It
satellite.
you just had 100 and something channels
Yes.
or whatever. So when that satellite TV first came out, I couldn't believe it because now you had channels that were dedicated to cartoons.
cartoons.
So no longer
That was the
just
best.
2 hours a day. It's now
24/7.
24 hours a
Yeah.
day watching cartoons. Little did we realize it would just mean they repeat the same 4 cartoons.
But still, it was
but-
a fucking
But it was
best.
mind blowing. It was like, oh my god, this is incredible. We really have moved forward.
Yes.
Now it's at your fingertip. Watch whatever you want to, whenever you want to.
Exactly.
Even think of things like Spotify. When I was a teenager growing up, I'm also very selective with my music.
Yes.
So I like my metal and my heavy
Yeah.
stuff. But then I also like electronics. I was a big raver back in the day, so I used to go jolting. So I like my, liquid drum and bass and my hard house from the late 2000s, early 2000s, my tidy tracks and all of that sort of stuff. But it was difficult to come by. So we used to have these big CD shops that we used to go to, and my favorite one was called the CD Warehouse in Rosebank. And I would go in there, and they had lots of imported and rare CDs as well. And I remember finding it was Offspring Ignition, which was their first album. You couldn't get it in South
Oh,
Africa.
damn.
And I saw it there, and I snapped it up. Offspring Ignition. You get so excited about finding.
What you looking for?
Yeah, the same one I got. Prodigy, music for the jilted generation. It was also you couldn't come across it. You could get it on like cassettes and that with someone's recorded it somewhere. You would
I
have
do.
recordings, but I got the CD.
Yeah.
It was incredible, and we've lost that now because any album, any song that I could ever think of in
it's
history, it's right there
everywhere.
on Spotify. So in one sense, it's really cool, fucking cool.
For sure.
But it kind of took away the magic, and the CD shops are gone now. They're dead,
Because
and you
I
don't
re-
have that anymore. What do you do with your time? I don't know. Watch politics
Yeah.
and get fuck.
It was so fun. I remember going to a music shop because the CD is being released today. You're like, yes, I need to go get it because there's only
Yeah.
so many copies.
Oh, yeah.
And then you grab the CD. You're like, might as well browse, and you can listen to different CDs, different try new albums, all those things that they have the headphones.
You have the
and
headphone. You
everything.
get your stack. You
Yeah.
go listen to them and then
And
see
then
which one
it
you
was
buy.
so much fun, and you go with your
And
friends
we've
and
lost that.
listen. Yeah.
We've lost that. I had one CD shop that I used to go to when I was a kid, and the owner there, because I used to go listen to music, and he said, listen, I tell you what, you come here and you give me a little bit of money every single month. I write in the book, when you've got enough, you choose a CD that you want.
That's
because we just go listen to music, take all the rave pamphlets and fuck off. So he was like, I'm going to make money. So we'd go there every week. I'd give the guy $5. When we had enough, he'd be like, okay, you can choose a CD.
You can choose.
And I'd be
That's
like, oh crap,
cool.
which one do I get now?
That's cool.
You know, I also used to be into it was the 90s, so I used to be into my gangster rap.
Oh.
You know, so I'd be like, I'm gonna get me some Bone Thugs and Harmony, bro. I love that stuff. Hey, wow, I still do actually. They don't make.
They're
rap
still
anymore.
fun now.
Better rap
Today's
anymore.
rap music. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
it's fucking horrible.
No.
Who's that thing?
Who's
Megan
that thing?
Fox. Megan Fox. That thing she's dating with the fucking fingernails.
Machine Gun
That's
Kelly.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
He tried to take on Eminem. I didn't know it was him. I just saw who the fuck is this out?
It was
And I've
very
heard
funny.
of this Machine Gun Kelly because I remember he made a diss track to Eminem, which I was like, that's not gonna end well
No,
for you, buddy.
dude, you're gonna die.
And you got annihilated. And now, so your rappers now have fingernails. I mean, when I was in the 90s, rappers were, and the horrible thing was, is they pretended to be gangsters, but they were really fucking.
They were actually.
So like, they weren't particularly very nice people, and the stuff they were singing about wasn't really nice. But when
it
you're
was-
like a wannabe and you're like, yeah, I want to be tough, it's cool to listen to. Like, I don't really
Yeah.
want to do that stuff. I don't really believe in treating people that way or any of that stuff. Women ain't bitches. And, you know, but it was
Don't
fun
go
music.
slap a
It was
hoe.
fun. Yeah, but even the girls used to dance to it. I mean, it
Yeah,
was
it was
like, fucking, yeah,
fun.
slap that bitch. And they're like, fuck it. You know? So they saw the fun side
And
of it as well.
now-
You know what I mean? But now everything's offensive and it's just, you've stifled creativity. Nothing's good anymore. Like, music is, I mean, these Hollywood guys are nuts. Even, I mean, who is it? Who's that big guy? Shaquille O'Neal? Is it Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was always a really, really tall guy. He's a
the
bit
big one.
chunky.
Yeah.
Yeah, tall guy, but he's
Shaq.
cool. He's in a lot of like Adam Sandler. He's buddies with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
You know he's buddies with Adam Sandler because if he keeps coming up in the movies, and you know he's.
Yeah, but Adam Sandler has that rule that he brings his friends into his movies.
I know. So
Yeah,
that's how
it's
you
so
know he's a
cool,
friend. So
yeah.
he seems like he's come out now and he said these Hollywood guys are nuts. I don't want to associate with them
Yeah, I'm
anymore. I am
done.
not a celebrity anymore. And hats off to the guy.
But a
you know,
few
there's a lot
people
of
have
guys
done it,
on center or right. You know, so. African Americans who think for themselves, you know, guys like Larry
That
Elder,
says this,
Candace Owens, all of that. And if they just disagree somewhat with the narrative, they're cancelled. They're kicked
But
out.
look at Terry Crews. I mean, he's like the coolest fucking guy.
Yeah, what did
I mean,
Terry Crews? He said,
yeah.
please, let's all
he's
get
like,
along.
guys, no, he said this beautiful message from guys. We're all brothers and sisters and all those things. And everyone was like, how dare you? And like, you're
Why are we
cancelled,
getting
fuck
angry about
you.
that?
And
That's
it's
like, fuck yeah, let's have a beer, dude.
yeah, it's like, this is the nicest message. Like, yeah, that's how it must be. We're all brothers and sisters. We live together on this earth. Let's get along. And now he's like, no, fuck you, against us. No.
I know. I remember when that happened, and after that, I started buying Old Spice. Because he was in those Old Spice adverts. He was brilliant.
I love
and I
it,
love
dude.
him. Yeah, he's so cool.
Did you see his videos that he makes?
Do you know how
now?
old he is, eh?
I know he's like crazy old, but he
He's
looks
like,
so
I think
good.
he's like close to 60. He might be in his 60s, but dude, that
He
dude
looks
is
so
ripped.
good. It's like, oh.
I mean,
like,
he looks like
serious.
32. He looks like 32.
Easy.
He's got like a six-pack on a six-pack.
I know.
Yeah. I want to
And
have
his
a beer with the
dances that he
guy.
does, his titty dance. It's so
yeah,
cool.
We
And
are
his-
blending.
Yeah.
Blending together.
Yes. And he still does because he was in the movie White Chicks. I mean, that is the fucking funniest movie. Have you watched
with the
it?
Wayne's brothers. With the
With-
Wayne's brothers.
Yeah, but they have to pretend to be white
Yeah.
chicks as white blonde girls, and he's in it. And that song he does, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. It's like, this is my favorite song. It's, you know, walking downtown. He's still doing that song like every now and then. It's so funny, and he still brings it back. It's like, love you, dude. You're
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
And he brings so much love.
But then they get hated, you get cancelled.
Yeah,
on
then
Twitter.
they
I mean,
want
even
to be
Nicki Minaj.
cancelled.
No, I don't agree with Nicki Minaj.
Yeah,
Many
yeah.
things
The
I
ball
just like her
vaccine
music.
thing.
I'm not so keen. With the big swollen balls.
Yeah.
And they turned on her fucking
Like
this
that.
China.
Yeah.
They
Very
turned,
quickly.
Rihanna came out with a T-shirt that said "Think before it becomes illegal" or something along those lines.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Boom, boom! They
didn't it?
jumped
Yeah.
on her. So
Like,
you're just sitting there, and it's going. It doesn't really matter what color you are. All it matters is that you follow this fucking agenda.
Yeah. Because
And
look
I
at
also,
who's...
because I can understand, because most of the people causing this shit are white liberals. So fuck white guys. So I can actually see, yeah, fuck white guys. Just fuck those white guys.
Yeah, those guys that fucks up. But look at now who's doing very good suddenly. Will Smith, because he's agreed to a few things.
Oh.
Oh,
is he? Well, I mean,
he is.
let's
He is for, what is it now? That you mentioned it, the theory, the
Critical race theory.
yes, he says it is called the truth theory now, and it must. He's like all for it, and it must be truth theory, and it must be brought in, and he also. It is so funny that he also called in to cancel the cops and like defund the cops. But as soon as something happens, they want the
'cause he's got-
fucking Navy SEALs to pop
He's
up
got
and
his
help
own
him.
private security force. So it's very easy
Yeah.
to say defund the police when you just phone Eddie outside with his fucking semi-automatic and say,
Yeah.
Eddie, I think I heard a noise. Eddie, can you come in? Okay, but here we're taking advice from Will Smith.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Have you seen his
but
children? We shouldn't be taking advice from that guy.
the tweets from his kids, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a joke parts. I was like trying to be so deep thinkers, and it's
Yeah,
like,
the
what
one,
the
the one.
fuck are you
I'm just
talking
going
about?
like, you've taken way too much LSD,
Yeah,
dude. I
something,
have
you're
no
on
fucking
something.
idea, and I suspect you also don't know what you're fucking
Yeah.
talking about. You're just saying words, and these Zoomers are going, "Wow, man, you're
Yeah,
so
it's
deep."
so
she,
cool.
they, them,
Because
whatever.
they're all on acid.
But it is.
I mean, the '90s were fun, hey, but like, but yeah.
But you see now, because he's now for it now, everyone's like, "Yay! You're so cool. You're so good."
I think his wife's boyfriend told him.
Oh,
to
yeah.
think that.
Oh
Because
yeah,
he
one
also
of the
came out recently
boyfriends.
now saying that it's the most. Oh fuck it, I don't know. I can't remember. I'm not going to verbatim quote it, but the most loving love you can have is an open marriage.
Is
And
in
I'm
an
like,
open-
Yeah, it's because and we watched that interview. Remember when they like. It came out that she cheated on him. So what do you do? Like, well, let's go on fucking TV and get interviewed by, I don't know, Oprah or some shit like that. Obviously, yeah, that's what you do. And they sat
Go to
around the
Dr.
table
Phil.
and he's like, why did you do it? Oh, well, I cheated on you because I wanted to feel good. And you're like, oh,
Okay.
okay, let's stay together. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, here it is. Sorry, this is the one I must.
Yeah.
This is one of the tweets from Will Smith's son. Yeah, Jaden Smith. Thank you. From his famous words: "If guns don't kill people, people kill people. Do toasters not toast toast? Toast toast toast."
Yeah, man. Toast. That's
Do
deep.
not toasters toast.
You gotta
toast,
tweet
toast.
that, man. These people.
And
But
they're
I
like,
think
"Oh my
Hollywood
God, you're
does
so
that.
deep."
You know, everybody wants to be famous. You think if I became famous, life would be fucking amazing, right? But then what happens to you is you become so famous that you can't go to
No.
the shops. Because if you go to the shop in America, people don't understand space. You know, you go to the shop and they're all like, ah! And then they follow you. Like Eminem did a whole song about it. You can't
Oh,
even
yeah.
have a shit without people standing outside. We don't really do that in South Africa. We see
No.
a celebrity and we go like, oh, there's what's his name. But we don't go up to him and get in his face. I met Danny Glover in real life at a fishing spot here in South Africa. He was here on
Oh,
holiday.
cool.
And he spoke to me. He came up to me and he's like, oh, man, what is a barbel? A barbel is a catfish. I explained. And I just pretended like
A
I didn't know.
barber?
A barbel.
A barber.
Because they had the barbel dam, whatever. A barber, yeah.
A
but
barber.
fuck, man. A barber's a guy cuts your hair, okay. But a barbel.
Yes.
And we had a conversation and I pretended like I didn't know who he was. I fucking love Lethal Weapon. I love Predator
Oh, yes,
2. I mean,
yes.
Predator 2 wasn't as good as the first one, but I
It
still
was
loved
still,
it.
yeah.
I love Danny Glover, and I just had a
You
fat
had-
chat with him and pretended like I didn't know who the fuck he was.
But that is a cool
Hell of a
thing,
nice
yeah.
guy, and that's it. And I thought maybe he would appreciate it because I would get sick and tired of people saying, "Oh, I'm such a big fan.
Oh my God, come and get a selfie.
Thanks for everything you've done
Yeah.
for me. Oh, fucking there." I'd be so gutful of that. And these guys do it. So what they do is because they can't go to the shop and they can't go to
Yeah.
the movies, is they sit in their fucking mansion
Yeah.
with everyone telling them how wonderful they are and throwing money, and it just fucks your head up
Yeah.
because you no longer live in reality. It's just everything is behind closed doors. It's these gala events where you're sitting with other lefty
Yes.
weirdos, and Hollywood. It's you don't do nice things to each other, man.
No.
It's not a nice place.
You're trying to fuck one another over.
Yeah, so you live in this world, and it does make you fuck up.
Yeah.
And here's easy to see. Will Smith is great because when he first came out, he was so relatable, man.
Yeah.
Don't come and say that fucking you've been hard done by. Everybody has loved you your whole career from the first time
Fresh
you fucking
Prince
sat
of
there with your
Bel-Air
Fresh Prince of
and all of
Bel-Air.
that.
We loved you from that second,
Yeah.
and we've loved you ever since then. Now we're starting to get a little bit wary of you because you're becoming a fucking weirdo. But we've loved you your whole. You've been loved your whole life, China. Independence Day wasn't the best movie.
Dude, but
you
it was
carried
still-
it, dude. You rocked it. Men in Black. I took my kids to see it.
I Am Legend.
I
I
Legend,
mean,
even
come
recently.
on. But you know, one thing that happens to celebrities quite often is when they're not anymore in the spotlight, they try their best to come back into the spotlight. It's like an addiction. It's like
Yeah, I
because
think
you're not the most
yeah.
beautiful anymore or something like there's a new actress out that's more pretty, and then suddenly this one freaks out and she does something drastic to come back into the spotlight to be relevant again. And I think it's
I think maybe the
It is
personality
mentally.
type you have to have is that you require that praise.
Yes.
So you live in that praise that everyone's saying you're the best thing. And then
Yeah.
when you kind of become second fiddle because you can't be on top forever, I think maybe it's hard for them to
it
struggle
gets
with it.
for
But
sure.
then also the isolation. all of
yeah.
that.
Oh,
But,
that is
I
also
mean,
bad, yeah.
he's not relatable anymore. Like watch his movies now and he's just not relatable. He hasn't had a hit in a long time.
No.
He just
mean, he
can't
tried
pull
to
it off
force
anymore.
his
Even
son-
Bad Boys for Life. I don't give a fuck
Oh,
what anyone says. That movie was shit. I really didn't enjoy that movie. I
But
really
look at
didn't
the
enjoy
movie
that
where
movie.
he tried to push his son into cinema and make a movie for his son and all kind of stuff.
That I'm telling you had something to do with the Scientology because I think he's involved with the Scientology.
Yeah, I
weird
won't be
shit.
surprised. But look up.
And they had that movie. They had the one he did
No,
with
it's
his
not the
kid.
Karate Kid. It was the other science thingy.
His kids weren't weird then. No, Karate Kid was
Yeah,
okay. I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah, that
it's-
was so
it doesn't
fun.
hold a. I'm sorry, Jackie Chan ain't no fucking Mr. Miyagi, but it didn't hold a candle. But it was a fine movie. They did that other one, The Pursuit of Happiness. Where he did it with his son, where he was like,
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
you're
like
right,
totally
yeah.
down and out, and then he did this job, and he had to do X amount of phone calls a day, and,
That
and he
was-
became a
yeah, that
successful man.
was-
That was great movie, good stuff.
But the new things now.
And now there's stuff with his personal life. His kids are all like just weird, and his wife is pumping other people, and he's trying to tell you that it's okay.
It's okay.
It's
They're
not
so
okay.
happy.
It's killing him
now.
inside. I think he looks in the mirror and just goes, "What the fuck happened to you?"
Yeah.
dude?" He's got to sit there, look at the pictures of the Fresh Prince, and go, "What the fuck happened to you,
Yeah.
man?"
What did you
Fuck.
do?
And it's sad.
It is.
But you're a weirdo now. So it's either you come out and you be who you really are,
Like
or
Terry
you
Crews.
carry on pretending to be a weirdo. Because I fail to believe that half of these people really believe what they're saying.
Yeah.
They're just towing the line to get
Yeah.
the fucking word.
No, for sure.
And fuck you. You know, I respect people like Gina Carano who came out. And Gina Carano, she lost the fucking gig on Star Wars.
Yeah.
She was a beloved character on
Yes.
Star Wars. Now, that's a chick you can believe is a strong female character.
Yes,
because she
oh
will,
yeah.
in real life, kick the fucking
She will
snot out of
fuck
you.
you up.
But at the same time, she's absolutely gorgeous.
She's one of those aunties that will.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But she
No,
also
she
just
is.
seems like such a sweetheart. She just seems like
Yes.
such a nice person. And what Disney did to her was wrong.
Yeah.
But she stood up for herself.
Yeah.
And she said, fuck it, I'm not going to sell myself down the river or misrepresent my
Yes.
values.
And that is
just to get the work. And I
yeah.
respect her for it.
That
And
is for me
fucking all the
beautiful
power
when
to
they do stuff like that. It's like, yo, yeah.
And I just wonder if the tide is ever going to turn, or if
I
this is
don't
it.
know.
I don't know. I don't know where we're heading. I guess in America, the midterms next year, because Joe Biden his popularity, according to the polls, has really gone down.
yeah,
to like the
that's
20s now.
dropped.
So if the Democrats are still riding strong after the midterms next year, that's going to be an indication that there's trouble. And then the next election, if it doesn't go red.
Problem.
Well, then we know that they've won.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what the world's gonna end up doing. Maybe I just go off social media and ignorance is bliss. So if you don't
Yeah.
know it's happening, then you know you don't see it in your everyday life. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
weird.
It's true that they say that dumber people are happier because they don't know what's really
know.
going on anymore.
Well, I
They're
don't know.
just
You
like,
look at
"Eh."
Californians; they don't seem too happy. They just seem really angry. Anyway,
But yeah.
so.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about Shang Chi, but you know, Shang Chi is a good example. You know, they tried.
Oh,
I don't have a problem with the movie per se. You know, like Black Panther. I like the character Black Panther.
Yes.
I'm really sad what happened to Patrick Boseman because
Oh,
he really
yeah, that
portrayed
was
that
sad.
character well. And I do think that African American or even we live in Africa, so black children need to have
They need
superhero
their
characters
superheroes,
that
for
they can look
sure.
up to. You know, I don't believe with this whole I need to be represented on screen to connect with the character because I can connect with female characters. I can connect with T'Challa. and
For
I'm not
sure.
African American, and I'm not a female, but I can connect with Ripley. It's just a well-written human character.
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
but I do believe that at a Halloween party, that everybody should be able to have a costume that they can dress up
That they
as.
want to dress up in,
Yeah.
No, for
So,
sure.
so give us more of that sort of stuff. But the thing I didn't like about it was the marketing,
Oh,
because they
it
made
was-
out that a black person had never been in a movie
Yeah.
ever, and this is
This
the
is the
very
very
first
first,
time
yeah.
it ever happened. And you're going, but Wesley Snipes was in Blade. We've done it before.
There were so many others,
I can
yeah.
understand it's the first in the MCU, make a big deal, but don't make out this is the first time in history, or that a black person's never been the lead of a movie ever.
Yeah.
Will Smith, we just
Yeah,
spoke
let-
about it.
yeah.
Was through the 90s, he was the
He
leading
was
man
the
in like
man,
almost
yeah.
every single fucking movie.
Exactly.
Idris Elba now is doing really, really well. I like Idris Elba in movies. I think he's a good actor. I love
Yes.
his voice, man. Fuck.
Wish.
I
Wish.
just dig him, man.
Yeah.
I dig him. They with the Stephen King adaptation that they completely and utterly fucked up. And I like Stephen King's novels. I never liked The Dark Tower. I couldn't really get into it. So when they race swapped Roland, which was the lead character, the gunslinger, I kind of saw Idris Elba. I'm like, okay. In my mind, it kind of works. He's that kind of character. He's got that gruffness to him. I thought it could work. They fucked up the movie terribly. I remember even when they said they were going to do Matthew McConaughey to play, I've gone blank. The wizard, the main bad guy. I thought, fuck, it's gonna work. And it was he just couldn't pull it off. He's a good actor. He just couldn't pull it off. That whole movie was shit. But in anyway, like in that instance, I was like, I think it could work. I think it could work. Another instance where they did a race swap that worked would be Shawshank Redemption. Stephen King, we could carry on Stephen King, but you read the book, and then obviously Red is the secondary character, and he's called Red because he's an Irish dude. He's got red hair.
Red,
he's called Red. And in the movie, it was Morgan Freeman who played him.
No one complains.
If I read the book, I don't care. He's saying he's an Irish guy. In my mind, I see Morgan Freeman
Now you
because
see?
he nailed
And
it
his
so
voice,
fucking
yeah.
perfectly. And again, I don't know. Maybe it's his voice, man.
That voice.
If I want someone to narrate my life, it's going to be Morgan Freeman or Idris Elba. I just love their voices, man. I dig those guys. They're fucking cool. Or Terry Crews, because he's
Terry Crews. Oh, I love that dude.
singing your life song.
That dude is just awesome. Jeez.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what I didn't like about the marketing.
Yeah.
See how the tangents that we go on. I didn't like the marketing because I just found it.
It was just like really.
I found it. Yeah, it was.
But
Shit.
it's
The
the
same
same-
thing they did with who's that chick? With fucking Brie Larson. With not Wonder Woman. I want to say Wonder Woman. With Captain Marvel. Again, they made out that this was the first time that a female had ever been in a movie.
Oh yeah, but that she's the main lead
But
and
Wonder
she's
Woman
the
had come out like the
stronger,
year
yeah.
before, and you're like, this is not even a superhero
No,
movie.
but
dude.
whoa! What about Catwoman and all of those? Come on,
yeah.
come
But
on. There's so many others.
That's the sick thing about it. Now that with the third time around, so when Simu Liu came out and they tried to make out that this was the first time that a fucking Asian person had ever been the lead, and that's the marketing. And I think at this point now people are going, fuck off now. Now I'm full of this
There's
shit.
so many other legends before you.
Do
I'm
it
sorry,
once,
my
do it
dude.
twice,
Yeah.
but dude, don't tell me Jackie Chan. Bruce fucking Lee, dude.
Bruce Lee.
And not even a superhero
Come
movie, because if
on.
we're gonna go, then we're gonna say, to me, fucking Brandon Lee, which is Bruce Lee's
Oh
son.
yes,
With the
okay,
Crow.
yeah.
He died making that movie.
Yeah.
Dude, come on, that was my
seriously.
jam, bro. That was my movie.
Yeah, so don't come with that cock from he's
So
the
they
first.
came out with this sort of stuff. Now you must also, and then it's always attacking fans. Disney just loves to attack fans. They love to take fans and call them racist, and istophobes,
bigots.
and all sorts of stuff. So they start that shit. And then nobody wants to go movie. Now you must understand, at this point, Disney doesn't have a lot of goodwill. There ain't no goodwill.
No.
People aren't going to go watch this movie. So we had a lot of YouTubers before Shang Chi came out that were saying this movie's going to fucking fail.
Yes.
And rightly so. I mean,
Yeah.
they fucked up Star Wars and they treated us like shit with Star Wars. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, really, really good. And then all of a sudden we had that one scene in Endgame where all the girls are like, we're going to do this together, girls.
My, yeah. Saudi girls got your back. It's like, oh,
And then
man.
it's sort of, and then it's starting to spiral. Now
Yeah.
everything that's come out on Disney Plus has been horse shit.
Yeah.
WandaVision has been horse shit. Captain, the American fucking Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Do better. Fuck off. It was terrible. Loki, they fucked that up. What if I don't spend any money on this sort of stuff. So if I want to watch, I go to Heel versus Babyface. As he does these reviews. He also does Batwoman reviews, and I'll let him suffer for
Just
it.
go,
He just
yeah.
watch it, and I'll just watch his review and go, cool, because I'm not paying money for it. And I couldn't be interested. So there's no hope there. You're sitting there going, this movie's going to be shit because everything you're doing now is shit. You're fucking
Yes.
everything up that you touch. You are fucking it up
Yeah.
badly. So this movie comes out, and then Simu Liu, I'm not sure how you say it.
Liu.
Anyway, he comes out.
Liu.
So when the movie launched, it had a good opening weekend. It's Marvel.
Yeah.
So it had a good opening weekend, and then Simu Liu goes on Twitter and he takes the thumbnails of all of these YouTubers and goes, he's like, oh really? As if to say like, fuck you. Which I found was a little bit too soon. Rather do it when the movie at least makes its money back and then officially becomes a success. But it's the same thing, it's this fucking marketing. It's the first time an Asian's ever been in movie. And then the movie comes out and they all go, oh, it's an absolute triumph. Oh, it's a fucking triumph. The real reviewers that I watch, like even Jeremy Johns, he's not political at all.
Yes.
He just comes out and says how it is. He's just like, it's an okay movie.
Yeah.
It's a Marvel movie. Marvel's like pizza. If you make a Skorpsky and Donner movie, I'm sure it'll have fun elements in it, but it can be like, man.
Yeah.
No, Black Widow, I wouldn't say it was a bad movie. I watched it and it had fun moments, but overall it was It was forgettable.
Yeah.
It wasn't fucking Infinity War, which is
That's it,
amazing.
yes.
You know what I mean? So it was meh. So, but then they come out, it's a triumph, it's the greatest movie ever made, it's 100% giving Oscars and fucking, and you're just going, it's all bullshit. It's bullshit, and we can see through the bullshit. And then you attack your fans. Now, since then, the movie has started to drop. And then the media all come out and they start with this shit. The reason it's dropping is because white audiences don't want to go and watch a movie with Asian audiences, or Asian lead characters. You're like, go fuck yourself.
Like
You're
racist
talking
now, yeah.
shit, Tana. Do you have any idea how much Jackie Chan made of me because I went to go watch his movies? Jet Li, fucking, I don't
All of
care.
them.
As long as it's a good character. If you're writing a good character, I'll go and watch the fucking movie. I don't care.
As long as it's watchable.
As long as we loved Eddie Murphy, man. Growing up, Eddie Murphy
Oh,
was the lead of how many movies, and they're fucking beloved movies.
Yeah.
Chris Rock. Everyone loves Chris Rock. You go and you enjoy these movies where they're leading man. So you're coming out now trying to make out that this is the first time you've ever. Fuck off,
It's
man.
not.
You're not the first time.
No.
And they fail. And then these actors come out. And instead of trying to win over the fans, I'm now Shang Chi. You had this opportunity to come out. And you could have been a lacquer oak about it, and gone and signed autographs and really, done your character proud, and we all would have ended up loving you and gone, fuck, Shang-Chi we're totally wrong about the MCU. He saved it. We want Shang-Chi to be the lead of the new Avengers. Fucking get him in there.
It's the same with.
But he came out and he called it. He's a dick, and he's trying to make out that he's had such a fucking hard life.
Yeah.
You make more money in your fucking movie here, dude, than I will make my entire life. You're not hard done by, dude.
No, I'm sorry. It is.
Fuck off. Just go away.
Just because one good example of what it actually that happened was with The Witcher. When The Witcher came out and with that they're going to make a series and everything, and they announced who the actors are, and we're like, oh, Henry Cavill. Oh, Superman. No, this is.
Mustache
Everyone was
Superman.
like, no, this is not. This is gonna. No, please don't destroy this amazing masterpiece. Everyone. I was even like.
Yeah, I was like,
and
not
listen,
Henry Cavill, dude.
Henry. Woo, Buta.
He's a handsome
Mwah!
man.
You're a handsome bugger. But I was still very skeptical. Like, you're my Superman, but you're not the.
He wasn't even my Superman.
You're not the best Superman, but you're Superman. But me.
He's won me over since then.
But that's
I
what
dig
I'm
him now.
saying. And now
Now he's your Geralt.
he
He's
is
my
like.
Geralt. Yeah, he's my Geralt.
But that's what I'm saying
I'll
because
die on that hill, dude.
yeah, like
I'll die on
fuck,
that hill.
I'll dive on the hill for
And
you.
he's my
dude.
Superman now. After
Yeah,
the Snyder cut, I'm like, oh, what? That's
Fuck,
Superman back.
exactly. But look what he did. He worked with the fans. He showed what his passion, and he's like, I'm a gamer too. I played this game how many times? I read
Even
the
when they come out
books
with the Justice League talking about toxic fans, he's like, I don't think people are toxic for liking something and wanting it to be good. And that is it, because
That
we
is
are
it,
the
it
guys, we are the people who kept Star
Yeah.
Wars alive. Star Wars was popular because little kids grew up and still carried on
Yes.
being obsessed over that shit.
Yes,
So
exactly.
why are you fucking us? We made you every single cent of money that you're worth now was thanks to us, because we went and had the conventions and we did the dresser parties.
Exactly.
And when you wrote the which is Legends now, but when you wrote your your novels and your comic book tie-ins, and we went out and we fucking lapped it up. We bought it. We played Knights of the Old Republic until our fingers bled.
Exactly.
It was because of us. And then what do? You bring out, you ruin it, you destroy all of the characters we love, and then you turn around and call us racists.
Exactly.
Or sexist, or fucking homophobes,
you're
or
now
something like
bigots
that.
and all that.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
We were the ones that helped you. We were your fans.
You kill off Han Solo, and then you bring out another movie with Han Solo, and then you can't understand why nobody goes to watch it.
Yeah. Because I grew up as a big Disney fan because I love animations. I love creating animations. I was like, fuck yeah, I wanna work for Disney one day.
I wouldn't.
Now I don't want to spend a cent on you.
I refuse. I won't even buy my kid a Spider-Man fucking lunchbox. Dude.
But that's what I was the one that
Unless
collected.
it's Sony branded. Then
Just
I'll be
draw
like,
one on.
sorry.
Because I was one of those that collected the VHRs and all that of the Disney movies and all those like
VHS.
Thank you. Sorry.
She's like
Wow.
a young.
Yes.
Yes,
But you know, I was one of those. I was like, I wanted your things. I wanted the Disney stuff. I was like, fuck yeah. Now I'm like, I refuse to give you anything. If I can't get it for free, nah, bruh. You're destroying my Disney.
There's ways to watch it. I'm
No,
not
but
going to say
that's-
go do it. But here's what I believe. Here's what I believe. And you know, they sit there and say, well, if you don't go watch it, doesn't matter. They're going to make fucking money anyway. Like, yeah, they're saying with Shang Chi, they're like, oh, it made money. I'm like, it didn't make as much money as it could have made.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, from the look of things, it's just covering its costs. So, like, you know, it's not a success just covering your costs. You want to make $1 billion profit. That's a success. But, okay, fuck, do what you want to do. But
it is like what I was saying with the Disney.
hang on, I totally lost my
Yeah.
fucking tangent there.
Because I was also still in my mind, like,
Sorry.
when I still wanted to say.
We'll cut this bit.
Nah, man. But it's like the whole point of, like I said, that I'm a big Disney fan, and now they're bringing out all of these new Disney movies of live action.
Oh,
and
shit.
then when they announce Ariel, the new Ariel and everything, everyone is like, dude, we grew up with this Ariel.
Yeah,
This is our Ariel. And if you look at the mythology and everything where it comes from,
yeah.
it's not from Africa.
This is exactly what I said, you know, with
And
the
then it's
God
like-
of War situation.
And then it's like, now all of a sudden, if we say we're not happy with it, the fans, that's
Then
been,
we're the arseholes.
we are the arseholes, we are the racists, we're the biggest. But it's like, this is our childhood, this is what we grew up. It's not because we're racist, we don't like black people, all of those other things. It's just like, we know this character.
We want Ariel. I want Ariel from my fucking ancient German story tale.
Exactly. And many guys just wanted a hot redhead because The Witcher didn't give us one.
Yeah, you took away Mary Jane. You took away our Mary Jane. For fuck's sake. God damn you.
They took away Triss, my bro.
They took away Triss, yeah. But it is always the redheads that are getting shot out.
Yeah,
and they're
where's our
already,
redheads?
technically speaking, redheads are only 1% or 2% of the population. So they really are the big minority.
So they need to bring in some redheads.
But they're just not getting the representation that they deserve. Obviously, it's fucking people against freckles.
Yeah.
Against freckly, very, very pale, freckly fucking skin. And that's racism.
But yeah, it's like, and now we're the
But
assholes.
like we said last week, just there's African stories.
There's
right here.
amazing
There's a
African
huge-
stories.
There's a huge continent here. Go and make a movie. Disney,
Yeah.
come here, learn the stories, and go and make a fucking decent movie. I
Yeah.
mean, I think Moana, they tried to do something, but it was
They
fucking
did.
half-assed. It was half-assed, dude. It
King,
was
who
so
knows about it?
generic. It was so generic. Because
fun
those
fact.
stories of those Polynesian gods and the stories of Maui and all that, really epic shit. Really, really cool stuff. You
yes.
could have done a hell of a lot better, but then they had to go the patriarchy, the fucking patriarchy, because here's a girl who wants to escape the island and her patriarchal father won't let her leave the island because we are disgusting white people. Fuck it.
But sorry, when you mentioned Lion King, fun fact, because you said Lion King is one of Africa's stories. Yeah, it is.
It is.
Fun fact, it was the most low budget. They didn't want it to succeed. They gave it as like a throwaway project. They're like, just here's something, just do with it, basically.
Exactly.
And it became one of their top selling. It was one of the
Yeah.
biggest stories. And it's like,
Look how
Yeah.
big District 9 was over there.
exactly.
I think it's just because it's a different setting and
Yeah.
it's different people and
It's
it's a different
unique to them.
culture. You enjoy it. People enjoyed Black Panther because of this
It's another
Wakandan
culture.
heritage and all of that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. So that's why they enjoyed it. We thought it was a rip-off because, you know, as I sat there going, fucking laser spears, fuck off. You know, so, you know, I felt it was a rip-off, but, you know, fuck, you know, but that's what American audiences want to enjoy. Fucking cool. But go and spend the money because here's what they say. They say, oh, you know, black voices are so important, but you're not putting your money where your mouth is. Because instead of coming here and getting an original black IP, putting the money into it and making a good story based on that legend or that story, you're not. You'll take an existing thing that you know already has an existing following, so you're going to get bums in seats, and you race swap, and you say, there you go. That's not black voices. All you're doing is fucking is putting a black face. The black face of white supremacy. There you go.
There you go. Because it's so funny as you say, because there was, it was a while ago, there was a fire at the Hartbeespoort.
Yeah.
And then I kept track of it on the news, on Twitter and everything. And this one lady, it was a black lady. And I was like, geez, please tell me more. Because she mentioned her mother taught her a story about the fire snake that moves across the mountains and all those things that causes the fire, and because of it, it actually protects the land. But it's like a big story that she said, and how she said that how the fire moved there, it looked like the snake. And I was like, this can be one fucking awesome film about the fire snake and everything. I was so invested.
They have Nyami Nyami, which is the Zambezi river god.
Yeah.
You always see if you go to Kariba and that they have those they have sticks and rings. It's like the snake with the thing inside, and the story is really cool. It's like basically when they built the dam, the god was split into two, and it's the husband and the wife, and they're just trying to get back to each other.
Stories.
So they got these cool stories. You can make lank CGI movies with the shit.
Exactly. And have you heard of the Karoo mermaids?
No.
That is like the sand mermaids and stuff. It is the coolest things. It is the coolest stories that you listen to. That's like, this can be amazing Disney movies. But no, we just want to put new faces on beloved characters that we already know.
Because they know that they're going to... Here's the thing, is what they do, like Ghostbusters. You know, Ghostbusters has got a name, so you think, hey, I'm just going to use the Ghostbusters logo and everyone's going to come and watch the movie. And they did. I don't really know if it did well. I think it made money. So I think people went to go watch it and they gave it a chance. And then they felt that they were kicked in the balls. You'll never get a sequel. Nobody would go watch it again. But you fuck up the whole franchise. So you make this Star Wars trilogy. You fuck it up, Six Love. You're not going to get away with it for another trilogy. No. You're not going to get away with it, because I promise you, they say we're making another Star Wars movie. I couldn't give a fuck, and I was probably the biggest Star Wars fan in the country, man. Okay, every single Star Wars fan says that, and all of us are black pilled on it. We're just like, fuck Star Wars. I don't watch. I watched The Mandalorian. I didn't pay for it. I watched The Mandalorian. I couldn't give a fuck about The Bad Batch. They got the book of Boba Fett coming out. I couldn't care. I don't want to watch it. I don't really give a fuck. Like, I don't care about anything Disney's releasing with Star Wars. I don't care. I just don't care anymore.
You heard us.
To the point that I don't really even want to watch the originals anymore. You know, it's just like...
It's sad, because to know what happens, like, such masterpieces, and now
like
it's like...
Kevin Smith with He-Man. I mean, fuck me, He-Man. I've been waiting for him to do He-Man justice, and they just fucked it up. And then they do this reboot, which is just fuck off. Just fuck off. Make something new, guys. Don't take the He-Man name and then do this shit. Like, do it justice. Or update it to make it cool. But don't update it and make it about current fucking political, socio-economic circumstances. It's escapism. I want to escape from this shit and just be entertained. And Hollywood has forgotten its fucking job. Its job is to entertain you, not to fucking lecture you.
Exactly.
But it wants to lecture you now. And it's lost half its audience.
It wants to teach you now.
But anyway, here's where I was getting at long ago before, and I got sidetracked. Is that they say... If I say I'm not spending money, and on Twitter they'll come back and say, well, they don't need your money. They don't give a fuck. But guess what? If I don't spend my money, I can guarantee that Disney will lose our 20,000 Rand a year. Let's just say if we're talking about if I'm buying products and toys and watching the movies and all of that, let's say 20 grand in a year is what I would spend on entertainment from Disney licensed products. I can guarantee that they're not going to get.
Yeah.
I'm in control of that. But let's say you do exactly the same. Now we've guaranteed that they've lost 40,000 Rand a year. It becomes 60,000 Rand a year, 100,000 Rand a year, and that grows. If everybody has a similar sort of attitude, and this is the only way we're going to turn the tide with Hollywood, because Hollywood is fake. They're getting the reviews, they're being told that they're a triumph, and the shit that they're giving us is a triumph, it's the best thing ever. It's only when they stop making money, because at the end of the day, the only god that they really care about is money. And the moment they're not making that, if they're not cutting costs and they're not doing stuff, that's when they go, because it's not going to be viable anymore to put the money. At the moment, they're cutting even, so they go, well, the message is important. We must just shove this down, as long as we make our money back. But that's going to stop. And
it's not about the money, it's about the message.
That's Heath Ledger's Joker. Oh my God, we're dealing with fucking Heath Ledger's Joker.
The
in
Joker's
Hollywood.
coming
My
in.
fuck. Oh my God, yeah. You see, that's just hit me like. Some people just want to watch the world burn,
Yeah.
man. Maybe. Fuck. Okay, but anyway, in my opinion, I think the only way that we're going to force this change is if
Is
more
through
people.
money, yeah.
If you don't agree with it, don't spend money on people who hate you.
Exactly.
If you're going to spit in my fucking onion rings, Eminem, I'm not going to go to your fucking, what is it, Mommy's Spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti.
I'm not going to Mom's Spaghetti because you told me in the fucking early 2000s what you do to the onion rings.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
told me. I know what you do.
Those few fans who got their food from him, I'd watch it.
I got the Marshall Mathers LP. I also know what you did to your mother, apparently. So I'm not fucking interested in your spaghetti, dude.
But in all honesty,
So Gillette, I haven't
want
used
to.
Gillette. I haven't used Gillette since they
Oh,
told
from
me I was
that, yeah.
toxic. Okay, since I went from the best a man can get
man
to
of
being a
counsel
toxic
does not
piece of shit,
approve.
I've stopped buying that. I go and I buy Clicks brand. I'll go buy the generic brand. It does pretty well. I've actually started growing a beard because of it.
Oh.
You just stop shaving.
To stop shaving. So fuck Gillette. So Gillette don't get my money. And it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
They still got those jobs, but I know that they're not making any of my money.
Yeah.
And I'd say that to anybody. I'm not really into boycotting, but don't spend money on people who hate you.
Yeah. Not true.
You know what I mean? You know, the worst thing in the world is you have in America, they've got this problem is that your wife cheats on you and she leaves you and you've got to pay her alimony for the rest of your life. You're paying money to someone who hates you. That's a horrible feeling.
Yeah,
So why the
that's
fuck
not
are you
fun.
going to watch Star Wars? Why are you paying for Disney Plus? You can watch everything on Disney Plus. You just don't have to pay for it.
Just know some friends.
I know the FBI is going to fucking start investigating me after we get like 4 likes at the end of this fucking video. But you know, there's just ways. Have a fucking liberal friend buy it and then just go watch it at their house.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Problem solved.
That's the only way we're going to change this. But until then, I think things are going to get a bit worse.
Yeah, for sure.
I heard there's a Spawn movie coming out now. Spawn, as we all know, is a black character.
Yes.
Is a black character. So we're getting a new black superhero movie. Great. Awesome. Fucking
Yes.
fantastic. But what do they say now? I was reading an article. I think I watched a video from Yellow Flash.
But it's the first of.
Really shouldn't be near a playground.
No, that does not help.
Yeah, I hope it's not going to pick up on the microphone. I really hope. But they said that this new movie that's coming out is going to cover modern political issues. We got it. The Candyman came out. We had the Candyman remake, and it was
Yeah.
about modern political
Yep.
issues apparently. So every time now we are getting these black stories from black filmmakers, which we
Which
need,
is
which we
cool,
need.
yeah. Go.
But the message is
Yeah, it's
white
like,
people are evil. So
seriously?
we'll keep
Yeah.
making movies, and the only message you can come up with is white people are evil, and you've been so fucking hard done by. And look, history hasn't been great, but I mean, I'm not responsible for history. I didn't do it. I didn't
No.
sign it off. I didn't partake in it. I was just fucking born.
Yeah.
I can understand that people that looked like me in the old days were fucking horrible. And I feel bad, and I think it's disgusting.
Yeah,
Just
no,
as you
for
think
sure,
it's
yeah.
disgusting, I think what
Yeah.
happened to people that look like you
To your granddad.
from
Yeah.
for what my grandparents did to your grandparents
Yeah.
was disgusting. I think it's fucking shocking, but you can't hold me
But
responsible.
I didn't do that.
We
yeah.
should not be able to have a beer together because of what our grandparents did.
Exactly.
Do you know
Why
what I
would
mean?
it-
I mean,
yeah.
do you know what the Germans did? The whole world is fine with Germans now because we're not holding Germans responsible for what the Nazis did.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, it's for sure.
So it's,
I mean,
it's the
well,
same
they-
sort of logic. Is it? You know, is
They
it?
gave the world beer, and now it's like,
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
is. But
Yeah.
it's true. It's
everyone is
but
like,
it's
yeah.
so it's just this
now
horrible.
it is. So why do
This
you want to
grudge now
divide
is
again?
now we're going to fight each other because of a grudge it just doesn't make sense.
No.
It doesn't make sense, and we're not going to move forward this way. You
no.
can't move forward this way because okay, let's say that I don't know if we do what the Ibram X Kendi wants and we just have reverse apartheid. We'll just have it the other way around.
Yeah.
Where now
The whites are
where we
not
have black
allowed, yeah.
supremacy and then white people. Are oppressed. Do we do that for then what 300 years and then we go back to white supremacy again? So for 300
Yeah, we're
years,
swapping
then we
it,
have a
but,
big
yeah.
revolution and we swap it around. We're just going to have that for until the sun devours us. That's just
Yeah,
that's not
no.
moving forward. We had the right idea.
Yep.
We had the right idea,
To come together.
and now we've let politicians fuck it up.
Divided.
Guys. Stop it. Just go and have a beer with each other. Go and talk to each other. Go and be
Yes.
friends with each other.
It's a lot nicer than hating one another.
It's a lot
really.
nicer. Stop blaming other people, you know. And in some instances, other people are to blame for horrible things that happen.
Yeah,
but you can't
but
say a whole group of people
No.
are to blame for. In South Africa, we have BEE. We have Black Economic Empowerment here, which essentially means that we're at a disadvantage. If you're white, you won't always get chosen for the job. You're seeing more of it in South Africa now. Not all black people are responsible for that. I don't hold a whole group of people responsible for that. Live in Africa. My son's best friend is oh no, I've fallen for that fucking thing. I've fallen for that thing where they're like, I'm not a racist, I have a black friend.
I got a black friend. I'm not.
I can't believe I just fucking did that. I can't believe I just fucking did that.
I was sitting here, I was like, no, going that way?
Yeah, no, what's his name? That Simu Lee did it. He was like, fucking, that Simu Lee was like, I'm not a sexist, I have a female friend. I just scrapped that whole fucking line of thought, guys. Fuck it. Yeah, I'm not gonna finish that fucking line of thought. At least I caught myself being a dickhead right
But I was sitting here like, is it?
Is that gonna be an argument?
Okay,
Like,
here we go.
Yeah, they've already weaponized that. Okay, yeah, fuck it. Bollocks. I don't have any friends. Fuck all of you.
No, but seriously, just stop your cock. That's all. Just
stop being a dick to each other. Be nice to each other, guys.
It's a lot
Everybody be
nicer,
nice to each other. We all just sit down, talk to each other.
and have a good time.
Stop
We
being a
did. There was a time when we did.
Yeah, we were cool. I listened to
And it was the
fucking
best
gangster rap.
time, yeah. And now,
something happened, and now
politics happen. They're like,
Because of Joe Biden, guys. It's not worth doing this over Joe Biden.
It's not worth doing it over anyone at all.
we did in a few years. So
In Australia, stop your shit and get your guns back. Oh, fuck, yeah, I can't put that on YouTube. Mama
Stop
Susan.
shooting
Mama
dogs.
Susan ain't going to be listening to our little podcast
No.
1 hour and 21 minutes into the fucking podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's time to
I
wrap
think
up.
it's time, yeah. Wow, that was
So,
quite
we did cover Shang Chi.
a little, yeah.
We didn't get to Xbox.
it doesn't matter.
Should we have a gaming one?
We can do it the next time.
Yeah, because we didn't have much gaming news this
We'll
time.
be more prepared.
We
next
had
time.
more politic and celebrity news this time. that we wanted.
Last week was all politics. The week before that was all Netflix.
But the week before that we had gaming.
Oh, we did have
also.
we had gaming,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
we
we
lost the
did.
recording.
Yeah.
We recorded the whole show and
Dun,
then we
dun,
realized that we didn't plug
dun.
the microphone in, so
Well,
we did have the
Two
whole
of the three weren't plugged in.
But our
Yeah.
very first
And
one
it
was
didn't
also
sound quite-
gaming.
Yeah, so we'll do another game.
Yeah.
Let's wait for some gaming news because Far Cry 6 is coming out, isn't it?
Yeah.
When? Like no.
Yeah, next week.
Next week,
No.
Far Cry 6. We're going to
Isn't
talk
it-
Far Cry 6.
isn't it-
Really? Is
6th
it
of
so
October?
fast?
All right,
It was October.
that's good
Okay,
news.
so we got some news hopefully coming.
That's good news. I love Far Cry. And I also love... let me give you his name.
The actor.
Yeah, I remember we couldn't get the actor right. Gus Fring.
We're
Yeah,
such
6th of
professionals.
October. Initial release date.
Damn.
Does anyone have $2,000?
No, but I mean, we'll just watch Red Bread.
Yeah. He's already. I already saw a tweet. He's already.
Giancarlo Esposito.
There you
I love him.
go.
He's a good actor. He's fucking awesome and everything. And I've been watching a lot of the promos he's been doing for this game, man. He's
Oh,
funny.
is it?
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Nice.
Cool dude. I'm looking forward to this game. You can take my money, Ubisoft.
A TV show?
Yep,
Fuck off.
that's old news.
Yeah, fuck Last of Us.
Well, they released a picture for what it's going to look like.
Oh, really?
But they're doing the old story, and then they're going to
Yeah,
go
I know,
into
but
the new
that
one.
story's been told perfectly.
And yeah.
I don't need to see it because I played it 5 times and it was perfect. It was perfect. And then they did fuck
And
it
then
up. Fuck it up. What did you do to my girl, man? What did you do to my girl?
Exactly. And they want to do a lot
But
of
here
the
you go,
Ring
here you
series.
go. You sit
yeah.
here and you're talking about LGBT. You took a beautiful LGBT character, and then you fucked her whole life
Yeah,
up, and you left her so
seriously.
shit. I mean, if that's not fucking projecting some kind of fucking phobe, I don't know what is. I mean, because you had you had this character that was just put in a beautiful story that everyone will love forever, and then you totally
And then you
destroyed
just
her
fuck
fictional
it up,
life, and you
yeah.
destroyed all of our views on her, and it just fuck you,
Yeah.
fuck you to
No,
the moon.
seriously.
Fuck
I'm
you
sorry,
to the
that game does not exist for me. It's not there. No, it's not there.
moon. Oh God.
It was pretty, but no.
It was pretty. It was kind of fun. Some of the gameplay.
Some of
And
the
in the
game-
end, I ended
yeah.
up liking Abby. I just didn't like.
the
I just
story.
didn't like. If you just made a game of Abby, maybe just made
But
it about
that is
something
what
else.
everyone
If you had to
said.
tell your revenge story with a character we didn't fucking know, and you didn't kill
yeah.
off the people we loved and ruin their lives, I would have been.
But that is
more
what
game.
everyone said. If you made an Abby game, it would be the fucking best game, and
Yeah.
seeing her story.
And it would have been a safer bet because you wouldn't have fucked up the characters that we
Exact-
loved.
That we love, that we were waiting for how many years to come back, and then you do that. Fuck off.
I'm
Fuck
devastated.
right off.
I'm devastated. So fuck HBO. I won't be
Yeah.
watching your fucking Last of Us shit.
And they're making
here's
Lord of the
picture.
Rings
Here's
one,
just
eh?
the picture. Here's the
Yeah.
picture.
Pedro Pascal and whoever he is. It's another chick from
Yeah,
other chick from Game of
yeah,
Thrones.
that one is also not. Do you have the picture?
No, I don't think this is Pedro Pascal. Joel.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Nah.
No, I'm out. No, not getting my money. I'm out. And Lord of the Rings, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out.
no,
Just fuck off.
no.
Although they did.
That's the one they.
Okay.
So
No,
that,
you see, they're pulling on your heartstrings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that is like a spitting image
Yeah.
of fuck off.
I
No.
might watch it just to see
Mate.
what the clickers look like. And then
Oh,
just wanna
is
see-
it just going to be CGI or are they actually going to bring makeup artists?
I don't know. Are they going to change it up a little bit, or are we just going to get verbatim? Here's the funny thing: also making adaptations verbatim. Think of Ninja Turtles. Fuck it, Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
They made the second one, which really they tried to shove everything from the cartoons in it.
Yeah.
So they had Krang, they had Bebop and Rocksteady, and it was just they had the Technodrome, they had fucking everything from the cartoon. It fucking sucked. So also because if you just copy pasted verbatim,
Yeah, it's
it
not
just
gonna
doesn't
work,
work, does
yeah.
it? It just doesn't fucking
no,
work.
you have
So
to rework
like I
it
guess
somewhat.
when you do these type of things, you win, you lose, you fucking lose, win. I don't know. I'll watch it. Maybe I'll watch like one episode just to see what the clickers look like.
Probably won't see them until like halfway through the season.
Yeah. Fuck. Anyway. Is that it, guys?
Yeah, that's about it. I
Alrighty.
got nothing else.
Everyone, if you listened this far, we did promise we covered some of the stuff we said. I hope you enjoyed the talk. If you did enjoy it, click the like button. Maybe leave a comment. If you didn't like it, hey, how about leaving us a nasty comment telling us how we could improve? That
Yeah.
would work, and we'll certainly take it into consideration. But if any suggestions or fucking if you did like it, tell us what you did like, so we'll do more of that. And
We'll try.
so from all of us here in the deep south, South Africa,
The deep south.
we'll see you again next week.